Now I got in these kind of situations I gotta be careful that he doesn't snipe too many of my High Templars with only a few Hydras. I really gotta try to kind of like run around with my High Templars if it comes down to it, and make sure that his Hydras are not able to snipe it down any more High Templars than simply necessary. I also gotta be careful that my High Templars are not too far away from my main army. That is very necessary, in fact. It kind of almost happened over here, but thanks to Protoss units being like freaking strong, there wasn't really much of a problem. I'm storming most of his army over here. A good rule of thumb is that the more places you can storm at the same time, the better results you will get, since there's no way he can micro like 3 different areas perfectly and so on. I'm also thinking of expanding again. Like, I was able to drive his army back. I have a good situation over here, so I can just like think of taking a new expansion and so on, keeping adding my gateways, whatever else. I also gotta be careful that I don't push this attack too far. For example, right now there's a danger of me trying to push this attack too far and losing more than necessary, and losing my advantage. So that's why I'm actually leaving instead of trying to attack even more. So that I ensure that I keep the lead. Also notice how I added my second forge. This is simply for the fact that since Zerg will most likely be making double evolution chamber or triple evolution chamber upgrades, and when he gets hive tech, I'm gonna be really behind unless I have very good upgrades. A Ahzz with good upgrades is very strong against a Zerg with full upgrades, but if a Ahzz has bad upgrades, the army is simply gonna get raped. So it's very important, in my opinion, to have good upgrades early on. So unless you have a really good reason, you usually shouldn't really be too slow with your upgrades or anything. Also remember not to just sit at your base. Notice how I didn't just remain inside my main or anything, and that's how I was able to I was not contained that way, and this is how I was able to also keep that expansion. If I had just remained in my base until the very last moment, until he was already attacking my new expansion attempt at like 1 o'clock, that expansion attempt would be gone. So it's very important that I keep my army around. I keep constant pressure. I don't really need to attack his army or anything, as long as I just keep the pressure up, keep attacking and so on. Remember to keep adding gateways. Remember to keep your mineral count at the smallest possible at all times. This is what I really improved, in my opinion. It's my macro. Like, I can always keep my mineral and money count really low, and that really makes such a massive difference. It's not even funny. Like, I don't need to even have like very good micro, and I'm still gonna do very well because I have such a huge army advantage over here. But the biggest thing of all, which perhaps before retained me from having good macro, was bad building placement. If you have good building placement, you can just build units in one go, and it's gonna be done with. It's gonna be really quick. It's gonna be easy. And besides that, if you also have good building placement, you can just add one gateway after another, instead of always spending that 1 or 2 seconds thinking on where the gateway should go, and in the end you don't have time to place those gateways at all. Like, good building placement is the very basis of good macro, in my opinion. Over here I'm just attacking and adding some more slight pressure over him. Also notice how I scouted any possible expansion attempts. I noticed that he has a new expansion attempt at 3 o'clock and so on. Remember to let your army keep growing. Like, I keep all the time sending more and more units over to my army to make it even more powerful and keep it stronger and so on. Like, if I let the armies gradually die, it's only gonna be stronger for the first attack. The next time he attacks or tries to defend himself, my army is gonna be dead. So it's important that you keep adding your army size all the time. Now that I was able to expand so much, I was able to have like 4 bases right now, and I'm also able to take down that one base of his. This game is pretty much GG. Like, once a Ahzz is able to out-expand the Zerg opponent, as long as the Ahzz doesn't get greedy and so on, the TOS can pretty much just run over the Zerg, like a TOS out expanding a Zerg. It's just a run over. There's nothing the Zerg can do. The TOS can just send the army from like 16-20 gateways all the time, make all these expensive units and so on, like Mass Archon or something, which nothing really beats, and so on. And that's really important, that a TOS is trying to out-expand the Zerg. Like the general rule of thumb, which most people say, is that a Zerg gotta have one more base than TOS, but that's just wrong thinking. The TOS always gotta be trying to out-expand his Zerg opponent. That's what really makes a strong army and easier games and so on. At this point, like I said, I pretty much just out-macroed him. There's really nothing he can do anymore. I just gotta keep producing units, keep adding to my army, and keep expanding even more. Like, especially if I have the lead, I gotta expand and take all the advantage I possibly can of the situation. Remember to keep producing more and more units coming back over to it. Okay, it's GG, and there's not much more. Thanks.